is making a comeback.
The killing of an unarmed black man in Georgia is heating up and stoking a very divisive race issue that's being funded and promoted by progressive political action committees. The controversy has caught on fire on Twitter and appears to be pitting blacks against each other. Liberty Nation's Jeff Charles has been tweeting and reporting on this topic and joins us today.
Hi, Jeff, and thanks for joining us on Truth TV today.
Hey, Lisa, thanks for having me.
All right, you wrote an article this week titled "A Civil War Among Black Conservatives. Why is the Ahmaud Arbery case causing so much conflict in the Black community?"
Yeah, so it's interesting because a lot of people are watching this and thinking that this just came out of nowhere. But the truth is that this I'll call it a conflict, I guess, or it's a conflict. Basically, it's been brewing for a few years now, actually. And actually, it even goes way back even longer than before I was around. Basically, in the Black conservative movement, as far as the media is concerned, like right-leaning media, they showcase really just one type of Black conservatives, which can kind of give the illusion that that there isn't diversity of thought in the Black conservative movement, but there is, especially when it comes to issues like racism or police brutality or things like that. So basically, there has been this tension between the, like I call them the more establishment Black conservatives and the other Black conservatives over these types of issues. And really these issues really stem from things like not really policy differences, but more differences in terms of messaging, in terms of outreach to the Black community, the overall approach. So when this story hit with the Ahmaud Arbery case, it really just ignited a powder keg that was already there.
All right, enter one Candace Owens, who tweeted the following. Black America when 9-year-old Tyshawn Lee is lured from a basketball court down an alleyway and shot dead by a Black gang member. Crickets. Black America when a repeat burglar is shot dead after breaking into a home. Racism, injustice, protest. Our culture is a joke. Your reaction, Jeff?
Yes. So that tweet right there is indicative of everything that is wrong with the Black conservative establishment. That tweet right there. Now, people can have certain disagreements on different aspects of the case. Like some people might think, oh, well, maybe it wasn't murder 1, maybe it was murder 2, or maybe it was manslaughter, or things like that. But it seems like a lot in the Black conservative establishment, they're more focused on what Arbery did or what his past was like, or smearing him, but their focus is more on him himself and not what happened to him. And that tends to be the reaction in any of these cases. And so in this situation, I mean, you had a situation where he was suspected of doing something, maybe, but the people who chased him down obviously showed lack of judgment. I'm being diplomatic right now, but basically the tweet not only skews the case because that tweet wasn't really true. He wasn't committing a crime, or at least nothing on the level of what they're trying to say. But that last line, our culture is a joke. So basically, the right is promoting somebody as a Black conservative leader who thinks that Black culture is a joke. And that's why I say that encapsulates the main divide between the two two factions of Black conservatism. Because one faction relies on a really demeaning approach to Black America. They talk about all the negative statistics, and the thing is, it's not that what they're saying is all wrong. There's truth to it, but it's the way in which it's presented that tends to be a deceptive narrative and doesn't tell the whole story, so that people will have this view of Black people that is not accurate and is largely negative. Whereas people like us, we want to focus more on what are some solutions here? How can we actually make a difference instead of just demeaning Black people? Why not craft a message that would make them want to come over to the conservative side?
Right. Now, yeah, you said you watched a live stream Zoom conference among Black conservatives that really went off the rails. What happened there? Can you give us that in a nutshell?
Yeah. So that had Brandon Tatum on it, Bryson Gray. It had Antonio Okafor, Hotep Jesus, Uncle Hotep, and it was moderated by Lawrence B. Jones, and who did an excellent job, by the way. But what's happened there again was the culmination, and I think I think a lot of the Black conservative establishment, they're used to being called names by the left, or they're used to being called out by the left. But when it's coming from the right, it's a different story. Now, I'm not going to act like everybody was right in that scenario. I mean,
wait. Who was going to give who an ass whooping there?
So apparently, Brandon Tatum, he was gonna give Hotep Jesus an ass whooping. So and leading up to that point, it was already contentious, and Hotep Jesus actually admitted his part in it. He apologized for it publicly, like multiple times on his podcast and on Twitter. But yeah, it got to the point to where you saw Brandon Tatum act in a way that you don't normally see him act. And honestly, I don't know if he was just having a bad day that day, but maybe it could have just been that he wasn't able to handle the criticism from the right. But again, like even in that debate, he wasn't really answering certain questions. He was more focused on who was Arbery, what was he doing wrong, and a lot of the things he was saying that weren't really true about Arbery. But when he was asked, do you condemn what the McMichaels did, he kind of ducked and dodged a bit. So this is the issue that a lot of us have, because we look at it. This is how black people in general look at it. These guys don't like us. They don't care about us. All they want to do is put us down so that they can get paid for it. That's their perception. And this message has really pushed black people away from the Republican Party and from the conservative movement. Only a small percentage of black people actually identify as liberals. The rest identify about 60% identify as either moderate or conservative. So there's absolutely no reason why we shouldn't be engaging on a certain level with the black community, but with figureheads like this using this type of rhetoric, there's just no way it can happen.
And finally, what's your opinion? What's your take on all this, Jeff?
Honestly, I'm happy. This is a long time coming. I'm not happy about the contention. What I'm happy about is that there are other black conservative voices getting out there. In the past, these voices did exist, but we didn't have like the social media. We didn't have the YouTubes, the podcasts. We didn't have other ways to get our voices out there. So now people in the conservative movement can see, oh, well, black conservatives don't all think alike. There are different points of view, and it gives more of a choice in the marketplace of ideas. Do I want to go this way? Do I want to go that way? And so for that reason, I'm glad that this is happening and that it's still going on, because now there's going to be more dialogue, there's going to be more ideas, and maybe we can finally come to a solution.
All right, thanks so much, Jeff.
Thank you.
That's Jeff Charles, Liberty Nation's socio-political correspondent. Thanks for joining us on Truth TV today.
Truth is making a comeback.